Hi, hello, and welcome back. My name is Zachery Likes Comics, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. It is Wednesday, which means it is New Comic Book Day, and ladies and gentlemen, Marvel Comics might finally be back. After months and months of falling flat, and ending arguably the best titles coming out at the time with the Ultimate Universe, Avengers Armageddon issue number 1 is finally here. We cannot forget about Daredevil issue number 3 by Stephanie Phillips and Lee Garbey. Kicking it over to DC this week, we have Absolute Catwoman issue number 1. And last but not least from Image, we have Transformers issue number 32. This is an amazing week for new releases. We're going to see if Marvel Comics is finally back. But first things first, we got to get ready for the day. You already know. It would not be New Comic Book Day without the outfit plus read of the day. First things first, you already know. So for today's outfit of the day, I throw on my vintage Daredevil Marvel graphic tee. I pair that with a pair of Wrangler's black denim shorts. And then for the shoes, I have on my Air Jordan 1 black, white, and red mids. Most importantly, though, for the read of the day, I wanted to go ahead and read issue number 7 of Escape by Rick Remender and Daniel Cuna. After a brief hiatus, one of my favorite ongoing stories is finally back, following Milton Shaw, a bomber pilot who is fighting against a fascist empire and now has been brought down in the very city he is brought to ruins and must escape with the empire on his tail. I am really enjoying this story as Rick Remender is telling the inhumanity of man-on-man in war and the total destruction of war, not romanticizing it at all. So I cannot wait to see where issue number 7 picks up. I will get back to you afterwards with my thoughts. I just finished reading Escape issue number 7 by Rick Remender and Daniel Cuna, which is the start of an explosive new arc. So let's talk about it. As I mentioned before, Escape is following Milton Shaw, an experienced bomber pilot who's facing off against a fascist empire, and his plane has been taken down in the very city he is brought to complete ruins, and now he must escape behind enemy lines. Issue 7 follows Milton Shaw's daring plan as it comes to a head, and he sabotages the Titan cannon. But escape means facing impossible odds, and the explosive start of a brand new story arc begins here, and it seems not everyone is going to have a happy ending after all. As I mentioned before, Rick Remender and Daniel Cuna are doing a fantastic job showing the inhumanity of man-on-man in war and not romanticizing a single part of it, and really showing the rippling effects that war has on everyone around. If you've been following this story, I would love to hear in the comments down below what you think, and if you have not picked this story up, I highly recommend doing yourself a favor and going ahead and starting this, as issue number 7 is the start of a brand new story arc, so it's a perfect time to go ahead and grab the first trade and get caught up on this story. If you've been following the channel for some time, then you know Carson, a very close friend of mine and someone I'm with almost every week for New Comic Book Day. Well, Saturday was his birthday, and I wasn't able to see him on Saturday, so today I get to give him both of his gifts, and later on in the video, I'm going to record his reaction to opening both of them. So the first gift I have here is a story I've heard nothing but good things about. We have Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum. This is actually from the creative team that has brought us both Ice Cream Man as well as now working on Dead Man, and so I thought this would be a great introduction for the creative team to see if maybe he's interested in any of their other stories. The second gift I have here is actually his birthday card. This is something I've been doing for some time for birthday cards. It's personalized, custom birthday cards. So we have Spider-Man with the web swinging pose, and then on the back has his birthday note. That is what I got him for his birthday, and as I mentioned later in the video, we're gonna get his reaction to opening both of these. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap these up, and then I'll get back to you later in the video to get his reaction. Before I meet Daniel and Carson on this New Comic Book Day, I'm gonna go back issue hunting and see if there's anything I can find. So come with me, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm on the way now to Great Escape, and there are two series in particular I'm hunting for. The first of which is Daredevil Born Again by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli. One of the most iconic, if not the most iconic Daredevil story, what transformed us into the modern era of Daredevil that we know and love today. The second I'm hunting for is Spider-Man Blue by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, my favorite creative duo, with Tim Sale being my favorite comic artist. I just love his story. It's so inspiring. He was told for so long he wasn't ever going to be able to make a Spider-Man comic. He didn't have the talent, but he just didn't take no for an answer. He wanted to learn what he could do better, and he made probably my favorite Spider-Man comic story of all time. I think his visual storytelling is truly on another level, and I just love his style so much. I managed to find issues 1, 2, and 4 a few weeks ago at Great Escape, so now I'm on the hunt for 3, 5, and 6. So let's see if they have it today. Before I go to Great Escape, there's one stop I had to make, and that's for an energy boost. We're at Starbucks right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived, bev in hand. That first sip feeling always hits different. Now, I'm speaking it into existence, so we're gonna find what we're looking for today. All right, the first place I'm starting with is Spider-Man Blue. So I'm in Spider-Man Minis, and it's honestly not looking good, folks. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find any more of Spider-Man Blue today. The one thing I am seeing though is Spider-Man Life Story by Chip Zdarsky, which is super cool to see in single issues. Let me see if I can find another one of these to show you. Here we go. This is the 80s. And then right behind it, I have the 90s here. Another beautiful cover. Something I love about Great Escape is they have full collected runs in single issues, and they're always very fairly priced. And today, I think I'm gonna grab Old Man Hawkeye. One of my favorite artists is on this series, Mark Cicchetto, and this is issues 1 through 6 for only $6. And a crazy find and just a crazy deal. The other day I was watching a video called Frank Miller Summer, and the entire video was a reading recommendation list for Frank Miller stories. And one story in particular I have yet to check out that is at the top of my list is Sin City by Frank Miller. And I found issue number 1 as well as issue number 2. And last but not least, here I have issue number 3. So that is definitely a successful find for today, I would say so. The other Frank Miller story I'm hunting for today is Ronin. And this is one of his less talked about works, but something I've heard is very, very good nonetheless. And being a huge fan of Frank Miller, I just want to see if I can find any of it today. And it's not looking like I'm gonna have any luck, unfortunately. I might just have to call it. Ladies and gentlemen, the bag has been secured. At the end of the video, I will do a haul of every single back issue I managed to find, as well as my new comic book day pickups. But now, it's time to meet Daniel and Carson for New Comic Book Day. We have arrived on another beautiful Wednesday for another beautiful New Comic Book Day. Ladies and gentlemen, what was Saturday, Carson? Tell everybody.
It was June 6th.
Mm-hmm.
It's my birthday.
It's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
Naturally, being this man's birthday, you got to get him birthday gifts on his birthday for his birthday present for his birthday.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk to him.
You know what I'm saying? That's a little Loiter Squad reference. The Kryptonite Spectrum?
Oh, we got the, yeah, can you hold up?
There's one other thing in there. So this is the creative team that's doing Ice Cream Man and Dead Man.
Fire, dude. Hell
Yes,
yeah.
sir. What else is in there? What's in there?
Oh, shit. Gotta unveil this properly. Oh, shit, dude. Yo.
Yo.
That's fire, man.
Let's see what we can find on this beautiful Wednesday. About to find some heat. Today is the release of Avengers Armageddon, and it seems that Marvel Comics is finally back. Carson just spotted a beautiful variant for Daredevil issue number 3, and it looks like issue number 3 is going to be the Spidey and Daredevil team-up we've been waiting for. Today is the release of Absolute Catwoman by Scott Snyder, and today we're going to see if it's worth the hype. What is your most anticipated pull of the week, Dan? Let's hear. Aquaman. Per usual.
Doesn't matter what comes out that day. It's
No.
always going to be Aquaman.
Aquadan, favorite character, Aquaman.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Aquadan, the new Aqualad.
That's right. The new Aqualad, Aquadan. Carson, what is the most anticipated pull?
I'm Absolute Catwoman, I think.
Absolute Catwoman. That's
That's the
valid.
one.
Very
That's the
valid.
one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
I mean, months and months we've been hyping this up. Today we're gonna see if it's
Now
worth
we get
it.
to see her in her
Now
own
we get to
thing.
see doing her own thing. I was a little sad to find that dead man was no longer on the shelf today whenever I was looking for it.
It reads, if you've ever read Catwoman before, it is probably the one that is most like the rest of them.
Interesting.
Geiger 5 comes out next week. That's huge.
The trade for it though.
Me and Dan were just talking about how peak Escape issue number 7 was. And speaking of which, the trade for volume number 1 just came out. So now's a perfect time to jump on this series. Carson, what is your lock screen? Care to share with us?
Hope Maxine.
Hope Maxing. I just made it back home, and I have a tiny but mighty stack here with me, so let's get right into today's pickups. My most anticipated pull of the week, we have Daredevil issue number 3 by Stephanie Phillips and Lee Garbey. This team has absolutely been killing it. I cannot recommend picking up this series enough if you have not already. We're closing in on that legacy number 700 mark. Here's legacy number 690. Coming into issue number 2 of the week, here I have Marvel Comics is finally back. We have Avengers Armageddon, issue number 1 by Chip Zdarsky. In Chip Zdarsky we trust. After months and months of falling flat, it seems Marvel Comics has been listening to their fans, and they're coming back swinging. Coming into issue number 3 of the week, here we have, last but most certainly not least, we have Transformers issue number 33 by Robert Kirkman, Jason Howard, and Mike Spicer with a beautiful DWJ variant. That is everything I managed to pick up this week, but as I mentioned earlier in the video, I managed to find a good amount of back issues, so let's get right into the back issue haul. I unfortunately did not come home today with Daredevil Born Again or Spider-Man Blue, but there are 2 comic series in particular I managed to find that are pretty awesome. The first of which is Old Man Hawkeye, the first story arc, issues 1 through 6, and I found this as a cover price of $6 for all 6 issues, so I paid roughly $1 a piece for all these issues, which is honestly a really good find. Great Escape has some really good deals if you're in the Nashville area. Here we have issue number 1, a really cool second printing variant edition of Venom, and then issue number 3 here. Next we have issue number 4, another really cool cover. Issue number 5 might be my favorite cover of the series, right behind issue number 6, which is my favorite cover of the series, with Venom and Hawkeye facing off. The next series I managed to come home with today was Frank Miller's Sin City. I have issues 1, 2, and last but not least, 3. So some pretty awesome finds. As I mentioned before earlier in the video, it is Frank Miller summer. It is not hot girl summer, so do yourself a favor and this summer read Frank Miller. That is everything I managed to find today. Thank you all so much for watching. I cannot thank you enough for the love and support here lately. We are closing in on that 1,000 subscriber mark, and as I mentioned before, once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway. I am also doing a giveaway on TikTok that is now live for reaching 1,000 followers. Thank you all so much for the love and support here lately. I cannot thank you enough. You have blown my mind with the positivity and feedback as I've started this journey. I started getting into content when I first started reading and collecting a little under a year ago, and this has quickly turned into a huge passion of mine. I am so incredibly thankful to be given a platform to be able to create content that you all enjoy. We will be back next week for New Comic Book Day, but in the meantime, spend some time with some loved ones, spend some time with yourself. Have an amazing day. Peace.